Well, my uncle passed away today. I wasn't blood related to him, but it was my mom's brother through adoption. And yeah, he was pretty ready to go. He spent a lot of time just smoking weed. Uh, and just wasting his life away, but he couldn't really do much else because he had health problems with his heart. But he pretty much just LDAR'd his life away for most of his life. He was about 5'4", bald, or mostly bald. Just didn't really. He was pretty sociable, but I felt like he got along with others decently. Like he had kind of an angry. I mean, he had sort of like anger issues, but the way he talked was like angry, but like funny at the same time. So he had kind of a good personality. Still, he never really did that well with women or anything like that. He was married once. Different times, though. Like nowadays, he was alone until his final breath. I can sympathize because I laid down and rotted too for many years, and I still am doing that, except for I just hung out with my friend from church. And I'm going to church with him on Sunday, so I'll pray for my uncle while I'm there. My uncle didn't believe in God, and it really just wasn't good that he didn't believe. I hope he did. I hope he did believe in the end, but he probably didn't. I don't know. I'll pray for him for that reason. because I doubt he's in hell or anything like that. He's never done. He never really did anything that terrible to anybody. He was just a weed abuser, and he drank too much alcohol sometimes. But he didn't have a family. He didn't have a lot of responsibilities. He just kind of hung out on disability like I am right now. But I don't smoke weed or drink alcohol, so I just play video games. So I guess this video is about if you have life left in you, don't waste it. If you can help it. And also, if you are wasting it and you don't really have another choice because you have mental health issues with it. My uncle had mental health issues too. I don't know if they got him with a schizo diagnosis or like they did with me, or I don't know. I don't know what he had. I think it was bipolar, but I'm not sure. He wasn't, but he wasn't blood related to me. So it's kind of weird how I know a lot of people with schizoaffective disorder, or at least I've met a lot of people with it. Not just in person, but online. It seems like once you get diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, and they give you the medication, and you're required to take the medication, and it becomes debilitating. It seems like video games are like a reprieve from your shitty life, if you're schizoaffective, because it seems like I meet a lot of them in the gaming spaces online. like I play RuneScape, and I've met like 10 schizoaffective people on there. It's weird. Like none of them were schizophrenic; they were schizoaffective, which I think they diagnose more often. Sometimes, I don't know, but yeah, yeah. Life is rough sometimes. I don't know. I'm not that sad about my uncle. I'm actually kind of happy for him as long as he's in heaven, because he suffered immensely and it was just ongoing. And I understand it because for the last 10 years I've been on and off laying down and rotting. A lot of you guys understand that, I think. Where you just have to give up because there's no other option. Because there's just literally no other fucking option. And you can't commit suicide because that's crazy. Anyway, yeah. I hope he's in heaven. I bet he is. He just wasn't a believer though. When he was a young kid, I bet he was though. So if that counts for anything, then he might be in heaven. I'm just gonna go with he probably is. Like I said, my uncle never really hurt anybody or anything, and he cared about his dogs, and I don't mean like dogs like people, friends. I mean like he had like a dog. He really cared about his dog, and he was pretty rough around the edges, but I don't really think he was a bad guy or anything. Like, some people probably think he was a bad guy or something, or just like a loser or something, but not really. He had some skills, and like I said, he just wasn't that bad of a person. He actually bought me a gift for Christmas this year, so I've been wearing it too. It's a nice sweatshirt. I'll wear it to church this Sunday when I go with my friend. That's crazy that he died. Makes me more aware of my own death, or impending death. Not impending, but inevitable death. You know, like I'll die when I'm 80 or when I'm 60 or whenever. Maybe even when I'm 100. If I stay in better health than what I am now. Whew. I'm already 30. Makes you think about 40 and 50. I'm not that. I'm closer to 50 than I am to 10 years. Well, I'm as close to 50 as I was to 10 years old. So, so I'm as much of a little kid as an old person, I guess. Feels like I'm just an adult though. So that's probably about right. I'm just an adult. My friend's working on, he's building a house. Well, not a house, an apartment. It looks like a house, but a few apartments in like a building that looks like a house. And right now he's living there. He's living in one of the houses, one of the apartment spaces, and he's finishing building the rest of the apartments. He invited me to help him do that, and so I might go over and help him sometimes. He's like right down the street from where my mom lives. And I live in a city like an hour and a half away, but I come to visit my mom every weekend. So I can go down there then. The only reason I'm not there now is because I'm not really sure. Like, he didn't invite me to go down after we were done hanging out. So he said he had to get some work done. And then he said, I'll see you later. So I was like, all right. And then we made plans to go to church on Sunday. So I guess just start there. It'd be cool if I could help him work on something. I haven't worked in years. He probably wouldn't pay me, but something to do. I don't mind hanging out with him, so. Anyway. It just makes me think about life and death. One day you're alive, and the next day you're dead. The way my uncle died. He had like a cancerous tumor on his lung, and he already had like only half of his heart in his chest because they had to remove part of it last time, which was years ago. He'd been suffering a lot for a long time. Makes me think of myself, like I'm just suffering endlessly every day. But it's been getting better. It's been getting better lately because I'm moving into an apartment, so I'll be on my own a little bit more. I got a couple guys, I've got a guy and a woman checking in on me every week. Just this one guy. He's not Hispanic, but he's got a Spanish last name, and he's Spanish American. He said he was Spanish American, and then he emphasized that he's American. And I was like, all right, that sounds good to me. I was kind of worried that I'd get stuck with an Hispanic when I heard what his name was. You could probably guess what his name was. Just there's so many. There's only so many. It seems like there's only so many last names in Spanish. Anyway, that guy's gonna check on me every week, and I got like kind of mixed vibes from him, but I got mostly a good vibe. So I think he's gonna be like a sturdy figure to lean on, kind of, because he was very much like, it seemed like he'd been in the military or something, just the way he talked, and he was pretty like muscular and like strong, like kind of like I am. So I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get along decently. Main thing I need them for is transportation. And I guess they just want to check in on me every week and make sure I'm not like dead or something. So that won't be too bad, to be honest. I asked him if he was Catholic. Wait, no, I didn't. I told him that I was Catholic, and he said that he was Catholic when he was a kid. And I'm assuming that means that he's not Catholic now, which isn't good. Because he's probably just fucking bitches, getting money, and like living an atheistic, terrible life. Worse than mine, probably, but I don't know. Maybe he is still Catholic, but I don't think he is. Anyway. We got that guy, and then there's a woman who's my peer support specialist or something. And I'm not exactly sure what she does. I think she makes sure that I'm getting enough social interaction, like that I'm going out enough, meeting new people. I'm assuming that's what she does, but she probably is just, realistically, she's probably just going to check in on me like he does and like just follow his lead, probably. That's what I'm assuming, but I don't really know, to be honest. So that's one good thing, is that I'm moving to an apartment soon, like middle of this month or the beginning of this month. They don't know yet, but they're just lining that up for me. I already signed the paperwork, and I'm just waiting on a social security card to come in, and that's about it. Like, then I'll have the apartment. And then, and I guess I have to pay first month's rent or whatever, but I'll do that. So, anyway, where did I put my coffee? Did I drink it all? Did I drink it all? I don't know. Anyway, here's some water. That works. Anyway, I went up to 260 pounds, which isn't good, but I'll lose the weight like I always do. I've been fat twice before, so I know the drill, stop eating so much food, walk around a little bit, exercise in the gym, and then just do it consistently for months on end. I've never been at this weight, but the worst it got was 230 before, and now I'm at 260. It was 210, 230, and then 260. And yeah, so I just need to make sure to eat right, go on walks, and maybe hit up my Anytime Fitness membership pass at Anytime Fitness. It's bad when your lower back starts to hurt. Like I'm walking around the house recording this video, and now my back hurts. Ugh. I'm gonna sit down. I walked like a mile earlier though, and I don't have shoes on right now. So when you walk without shoes on, it's a lot easier to injure your back if you're overweight. What else can I talk about? I don't know. I don't know what else to talk about. My uncle's passing. Hanging out with a friend. Getting a new apartment. I may also go back to university to get a PhD in Spanish. That way I can teach Spanish at a university. But I really don't like liberal universities, but like Christian universities aren't as bad. They can be, I think, based on what I've read. But I don't know. At least I don't know. Hopefully it's not too bad. I want to go to this Christian college in town near my apartment. So I might wait till winter next year. I'm not really in a hurry. School's like the only thing thing I know. I've worked before, but I've only worked so much. I've had like 10 jobs, but none of them lasted very long. So I know like the work side of the world a little bit, and I know the school side, but I actually really don't know like much else besides to do school work. So it's just sort of a way to survive too, because I can't like keep a regular job. I mean, I probably can nowadays, to be honest. It just took me years to get used to taking orders from a shitty manager for like $0 an hour. That's an exaggeration, but it's not much of one. I've worked at Walmart, McDonald's, and a bunch of other places that don't pay shit. So, anyway. So school is like the only thing I really think I can do to survive besides my disability check. Yeah, and that's probably pretty common, to be honest, because it's not like you can work an easy job and make enough to buy a house. You really can't do it. I've heard that mentioned a million times on YouTube recently, and I was actually thinking about it before I found it on YouTube, where everybody was talking about the housing market. Anyway, yeah, it's because I was looking at apartments, so I was like, why are these apartments so expensive? I can't afford any of them. But the apartment that I'm moving to is $350 approximately a month. A little bit less than that, I think. About $350. Like off of South Park. I actually got really sick of South Park. I don't really like South Park that much anymore. Like, it's funny, but sometimes I can't really laugh because it's just so fucking true, you know? It's just like, man, this is... or if it's not really like true, it's like, you know, it's just so disrespectful. It's just like, God, I don't know. I'm not a kid anymore, you know? So I can't really get into it. You can only laugh so much before you get tired. Anyway. So in the meantime, I've just been streaming on Twitch. When I come to my mom's house, at least. I just stream on Twitch. And yeah, hanging out with my friend. I'm just glad I have this friend from high school. He used to go to my church. So we're going to church on Sunday now. So it's good to have friends that go to church we were talking about the medications I take for my mental health disorder. My dad reached out to this guy, and my mom reached out to him too to talk to him about meeting with me. And then I contacted him. I didn't realize my parents had contacted him, but he reached out to me like a year ago. But if you didn't know already, I went to the hospital for 5 months when it should have been like 2 weeks, in my opinion, because I thought I was pretty stable after like a good month, maybe at least. But anyway, they contacted my friend, and so he got into touch with me, and yeah, then just recently I messaged him, and we ate at a restaurant today, and then hung out. He showed me his place, and I showed him my mom's place. We went to my mom's coffee shop. Everything's really close in this town. Or in this city. It's a city, but it's like a small town, kind of. Anyway. So, yeah. I think I'm good now. I don't know what I mean by that. I think I'm like good to go with some of this stuff. Like I have like a friend to go chill with. Yeah. That's the first friend I've hung out with in 10 years probably. I don't know. I guess I hung out with a few other friends like a couple times throughout the last 10 years, but for the most part I've been alone. Anyway, so that's one friend who lives nearby. I don't know how long he's going to live here, probably just until he finishes the apartment and then he'll move somewhere else. But in the meantime, it's kind of cool. And I live in a city like an hour and a half away. But I guess I'll just have to make time to see him or whatever. We can stay friends throughout the years. It's good to have a Christian friend. We didn't really talk about our faith too much today. We just kind of talked about... I kind of forget. I guess I just don't want to talk about it right now. Just medications and stuff like that. Like he was wondering... He just seemed curious about what I have to go through every day. Like staying at the group home and taking medications and stuff like that, and then what caused it in the first place. I told him a breakup with a girl caused it, and then not a breakup with a girl, but a breakup, and then like a lot of time alone. I told him I entered psychosis after I spent a lot of time alone. And I was like, I think anybody can become schizoaffective or enter psychosis. I told him anybody could probably enter psychosis if they spend enough time alone. Nowadays, I actually want to be alone. But but again, I need like friends to be around too. Because it's just hard to... It's hard to be alone. Like, I don't really need, like, a hug or, like, any kind of, like, I don't need that or anything, but, like, just having somebody to talk to or somebody down the road who you can go see or whatever, like, right now. I don't know. Most black pillars don't have that, and I've always had that in my life. Like, I've always had friends. You know, I've always had friends in my life. Except for my 20s. Like, in my 20s, I didn't have any friends. I even almost made some friends a few times in my 20s, but, yeah, I never really made friends. I think if I go to this Christian college eventually, I'll make a bunch of friends. Because Christians are really nice. I know I'm really nice too. I mean, I'm very respectful and nice. And I believe in God. And I believe in fair treatment to everybody. Or almost everybody, at least. And... yeah. I don't know. All right, I guess I'm going to end the video. Thanks for listening. See you later.